Hello and welcome back to our channel. My name is Matt. This is James. You should recognize us by now. And we welcome another guest on our channel today, a very handsome silver fox. Today, welcome Leigh to our channel. Looking very, very well and tan today. So just for those of you who may not know, Leigh Ashbee is a local landlord, investor, Airbnb specialist, also runs HMOs, but specifically is here today to talk about something called PPN, or the Progressive Property Network. And I've read that because it's a bit of a tongue twister, the Bournemouth division of the Progressive Property Network. So welcome, Leigh. Thank you for joining us.
Well, Matt, thank you for that intro. Crikey, Silver Fox. You know, you make friends and influence people, don't you? Yeah, Matt and James. Well, thanks for inviting me on. It's very nice of you. I'd seen, the videos and stuff that you do. I think it's fantastic. So it's nice to be part of it. So yeah, I'm here to help. You want me to tell you about PPN, Progressive.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about what the network is. I'm sure there's a lot of people that haven't heard of it. We're obviously recent members with the network and have come to a few of the evenings. I know Chris has been to a couple. You've been to one. I'm booked on the next one with all of us. So quite excited about that. But yeah, to the layman, just explain a bit about what PPN is.
Okay, so I guess I should say, well, it's 10 years old now, PPN Bournemouth, and there are network events that Progressive have PPNs all over the country. We are the oldest one, actually. We were the second or third to launch. A couple of them have sort of died over those 10 years. I'm probably close to it now. But it's been a great deal of fun, and it was set up really with an ethos of just providing a platform or a community, really. I think that network meetings can be really stiff and boring. And I just saw the opportunity through Progressive to launch this meeting here, and it just to be a bit more warm and friendly and a bit more relaxed, where people can have fun and just build their relationships and grow their network. It's very much a people business property, and people want to do business with people that they can see, rather than just a business that they can find in the yellow pages. Crikey, I sound old saying that, don't I? But
I remember them.
Yeah, from what you find online, that like people like to see a face behind a business, and it's been really wonderful because we've grown that kind of community ethos from the beginning. We've still got members that literally came to the first event that are still diamond partners now. So it's been a real success and something I'm really proud of, along with all the people that come along and contribute to it regularly. People, sometimes disappear for months and months or even years, and then they're back again, because they see the value in it. And it really is about, so much of a property can be a really lonely place. You guys know this just with the services that you provide, but it can be quite lonely and quite daunting. So it's a great source of information and support and knowledge, and just alongside building those things, because that kind of resilience that you need in properties, you get a lot of no's, you get a lot of deals that don't work out, and having people around you that are like-minded, that know what you're going through with those difficulties at times, and the rough times as well as the good, is really, really powerful. I think mindset is becoming more and more important in business. Let's face it, property is business. And so having that community spirit where people make friends, is really, really fabulous. It's really vital. And we've had so many people that have come along and just made joint ventures and partnerships and everything, and gone on to great success, that have actually met at the meeting, which is incredible. It's something that we're very, very proud of. There's so many businesses that have started that have actually met at the meetings. Deals get done. So, and it's a lot of fun too. We have over the years, we've probably started off a bit stiff, but I was terrified. The first time I got up on stage, I'd never done that before, and that probably reflected. But we've it's just a lot of fun. And I think that's really important to have fun in doing what you do as well. It doesn't feel like work then, does it?
Yeah. Work and have fun, and that's what everyone really wants, isn't it?
So Leigh, you run obviously the local network. I mean, Matt's obviously given you an intro at the start, but in your own words, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved in setting up the network here in Bournemouth?
Yeah, sure. Well, crikey. I mean, obviously, I'm a silver fox, and it's been a long time that I've been on this planet. But I started off in property. I knew nothing. I was kind of 23 years old. I think I was at the time, I'd come out of the merchant navy traveling, which is something that was really, it's always been a passion of mine. And I was then working for British Airways as a cabin crew member.
Wow.
Because that's more travel and it all paid for, and it was a fantastic way to see the world, and have a lot of fun. And I was renting a place basically, and ultimately the landlord turned around. It was a 3-bedroom flat, and I rented it because I knew a friend of mine wanted somewhere as well, and so it was all in my name, but he rented a room as well. And then the landlord said to me one day, look, I want to sell the flat. And I was like, oh crikey, I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to live. It didn't even cross my mind about buying a property, but I went to the building society, and spoke to my manager there, and he said, look, you'd be crazy not to buy this flat, because your friend, the amount of rent that he's paying at the moment will pay your mortgage. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, so that was how it happened. It was very accidental. And then we let the 3rd bedroom as well. I let the 3rd bedroom. And so the guys who are friends of mine, they were paying all the bills and my mortgage plus some, and obviously property was a lot cheaper back then. I paid £38,000 for that 3-bedroom flat in a good spot in Bournemouth. It's a very long time ago. Buy a broom cupboard for that now, can you? But no. So that's how it all started. And do you know what? If I've got a regret in my property investing, is that I just didn't keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But that was before the internet was about, and I didn't know what a HMO was, and I got doing HMOs much, much later on, sort of end of the noughties, really. 2008, I started doing, HMOs properly. But in that interim, I thought this property is great. So I was doing flips. I was buying properties and improving them and adding value to them and then selling them, which was all well and good. And I was doing that in my spare time because I was still working with BA. But then, I guess I got married, got divorced in 2003. No, it was a little later than that, 2005, 6. And then I just thought I need to, obviously that costs a bit of money getting divorced, doesn't it? I'm sure there's plenty of people out there know what I'm talking about, but we went our separate ways. And then I just thought, property's the thing for me. I love doing it. And I was part-time with BA then, so I had plenty of time to, spend doing it. And I started to build the HMO portfolio, basically. But I wish, if I got a regret, I wish I'd done that much earlier.
Yeah.
Because I'd be worth hundreds of millions by now.
And so how did you get involved with the local network? How did you end up going down that path to start that up?
Yeah, so that kind of ties in quite nicely because it was around sort of 2008. I looked online and I thought, okay, I need to get more information and stuff like, started to research things. And then I came across an event that was being held at Heathrow Airport, which obviously I was quite familiar with, the airport. And they were running a day course, and it was run by Rob Moore and Mark Homer, the founders of Progressive Property. And it was called Property Buying Frenzy. And of course, that was just around the recession time when actually property, you could get some amazing deals.
Mm-hmm.
And I did this 1-day course, came back all fired up from that. And 3 weeks later, I bought a probate property, which was absolutely falling to pieces. It was a proper wreck. All the windows were all boarded up and nothing had been done to it in probably 60 or 70 years. It was in a really bad state, but I bought this property, completely refurbished it. And I still have that property today. It's a 6-bed HMO and it's, done fantastically well over the years. And then I just went on to replicate that. I bought another couple more probate properties as well as some others. I even bought a property and then bought a garage that was kind of on a ransom strip next door to it, and then built another house on that. So I got 2 HMOs next to each other. So I've done lots of different things. I've done planning gain. I've done commercial to residential. I've done converted barns into residential out in Litchett. I've done joint ventures with friends of mine to build blocks of flats, and now doing a one out in Wimborne for 10 or 11 houses. I do lots of different things in property, and probably too much. I've done a bit of deal packaging, but my main focus is sort of shifted from HMOs to serviced accommodation now, as you guys know. And the main reason for that is because the tax efficiencies with it. It's I think if you can get it right, if you can do it correctly, it's excellent. And my background in customer service as well as property sort of come together very well with serviced accommodation, because it's really important, that you are looking after the guests and looking after, everything, so there's a lot of customer service comes into that as well. So it lent itself very well to me. So Grandeur Property Management was born from that, really. So, we look after lots of clients' properties as well, and we've helped them to cash flow their properties much better without them really having to do anything. It's a full management company, and the tax benefits, as I said, are really significant. So not only can it cash flow better than HMOs, but you end up keeping more of that net income in your pocket rather than giving it to the tax man as well. And there's lots of different tax advantages as well that are different for every individual, whatever your setup is. But they're really significant. Capital allowances being one of those. The fact that you can offset your taxable income against your mortgage interest is another, really excellent benefit, which you can no longer now do, of course, with HMOs and buy-to-lets, unless you're incorporated. So there's lots of very tangible benefits to serviced accommodation, and it kind of floats my boat. So probably 80% of my time is spent in the serviced accommodation arena now, albeit I've still got my portfolio of HMOs, which are great as well.
Nice. I mean, you have pretty much surmised from all of your experience what benefits someone is going to get from joining, is this wealth of knowledge and experience from doing all of these different things. Now, a lot of our landlords maybe own one property, maybe two, and they probably would still get a lot of information from these events. But what kind of benefits would if one of our landlords wanted to join, what would you say are the key benefits? Would it just be knowledge, or would there be anything else which they would get from these meetings?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a great question. I think the thing is, it doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're literally just starting and you've just got an interest, or, you've got 1-2 properties or 20. It really doesn't matter, because I think there's a great key thing that I heard years ago is that the moment you think you know everything, you're in real trouble. You know nothing, and so, because everything's changing constantly, everything's changing. And legislation, just for example, changing on a daily basis, and if you don't keep abreast of it, you're gonna find yourself in trouble. That's what you've got to do. And it's with the brilliant stuff that you guys share in this knowledge, it's valuable to people. You've got to keep your ear to the ground and find out what's going on, and where there's change, there's always opportunity. So I think that, we provide a lot of current news, what's happening, what's changing, so that people can, stay abreast of that. And again, that community thing, I think is really, really important. Your mindset, it can become very daunting, and it's easy to get tired and bored in doing property, even when it's going well, So sharing that and making friends and building those relationships, I think is super, super vital, because it keeps you bubbling along, It's great making money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Does that answer the question?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm even more excited to come to the next one now. So yeah, that is fantastic. So moving on from that, where do you meet and when?
Okay, so we run the event at the Ocean Beach Hotel and Spa, which is on the East Overcliff Drive, just a couple along from the Cumberland Hotel, which many people know. In fact, we started at the Cumberland Hotel, but we outgrew it. Basically, we outgrew the room there. We've got a lovely big events room at the Ocean Beach Hotel, and we run it on the third Thursday every month. The next meeting is on the 18th of May, but I think we're recording this before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the third Thursday each month.
Fantastic. Yeah. So the first two I had to miss because my wife was working nights. So I have a very unusual schedule, but I think we're all clear for the next one. So very much looking forward to that one. Do you have any idea of what guest is going to be on that particular one? I think the last one was joint ventures, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we do. We've got two speakers. We like to leave plenty of time for networking, for people to really get to know one another. But actually, content can be king actually sometimes. Yeah. So every other month we'll probably have two keynote speakers. That particular event, so off the top of my head, in June, sorry, I don't know the date, but it's the third Thursday in June. We've got Mochul Islam. Now, he's also, funnily enough, he's a PPN host of Leeds, and he has done amazing stuff in property, and he's now out on the circuit sharing his great wealth of knowledge and experience. He does a lot of lease options and stuff, which can be a really powerful tool in property investment. So he's going to be sharing his knowledge around that and other stuff. We've also got Paul Chapman and I don't know if you guys have come across this, a great new tool called Landworth. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't. No. Have a look at that.
Okay, you should look it up. But Paul's going to be sharing that. He's developed this brilliant tool, which a lot of estate agents, letting agents, valuers, property investors are using now. To effectively, I mean, it's kind of based around square footage, and a lot of valuations are done increasingly on that, especially in cities. And it's a brilliant tool. So he's going to be sharing information on that. So lots of content, lots of knowledge, as well as the networking, which obviously is brilliant.
Awesome. Well, look, Leigh, that has been a brilliant intro to PPN. Obviously, we will see you on the next one. If anyone does want to get in touch about membership, what we'll do is we'll put some links in wherever we put this content. We'll put some links in there below. If you are watching and you want to talk to myself or James, and we can refer you that way and intro you to Leigh via email or whatever, then that's great. As you can tell, Leigh is very welcoming, very friendly, very handsome. But don't let that put you off. Do get in touch, and I hope you've taken some value from this video. Leigh, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Leigh.
An absolute pleasure, guys. You're very handsome as well. Listen, if anybody out there, wants to come along to PPN Bournemouth, you're very welcome. And if you, for the first time that you can come for free. You just need to register. I'm sure the guys will be happy to share a link for that. Yep. So please come along and just try us, and I'm sure you'll love it. There's it really is good fun, and a great place to be. If you're serious about property, it really is. So I'll look forward to seeing you guys at the next event.
We will see you.
And anybody that's listening out there, please come and join us.
Brilliant. Thanks everyone for watching.
Take care. Bye bye.
Keep up the great work, guys.
Thanks, Leigh. Cheers.
Thanks. Bye now.